Well, we go right back to the Orange County Register building in Santa Ana. This time we're talking to the Register columnist for OC Outdoors, David Whiting. How are you, David?
Fabulous.
Yeah, you've got a column on a true superwoman. Fill us in.
Michelle Barton is an incredible person. She's 37 years old. She's a single mom raising her 8-year-old daughter, Sierra, lives in Laguna Niguel with the help of her mom and also her father and on the weekends, but she has carved out an incredible life for herself, and she is smashing national records all over the country for ultra running, and that means running anything over 26.2 miles, the regular marathon running that, and she hauls down trails. You can see her here with just an incredible stride. She started only, again, 8 years ago in her 20s. She was a dance instructor, but nothing, super aerobic kind of stuff, more real dance, and pretty active, but she has come into her own here, and you can just see how strong she is. She's an amazing person, and she's also just a real kick to talk to.
Well, how does she do all this?
She does a lot of training. A lot of people think it's genetic or it's luck or something like that, but it really boils down to training and training and training. She gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning. She's out on the trail at 5:30. She gets her daughter dressed, takes her to school, squeezes in a quick bike ride, goes off to work at Fleet Feet in Laguna Niguel. She's a part-time, works about 25 hours a week. She squeezes in a swim right after work, picks her daughter up at school, pedals off on a bike ride. I mean, I can barely even just think about it, keeping up with it. And then she's off helping her daughter with homework and everything else, and in bed about 9 o'clock. So she's very much of a morning person, but boy, oh boy, it's really in the training and, of course, nutrition to health. So she's a very healthy eater.
Yeah, that helps too, which that's why I'll never be a runner.
Well, she's really an amazing person, and people like this, I think, are inspiration to all, and it just goes to show you how far you can go if you're just willing to kind of get out of bed and keep that discipline going.
If you're willing to commit to it and stop drinking Dr. Pepper, right?
Yeah, a little bit of that.
A little bit of that, too. My question is about ultra running. I'd heard the term before, but I'd never heard it described until you just said right now it's anything over a marathon, right?
Exactly. And she does a lot of 50Ks, which is just a little over 30 miles, but she also does a lot of 50-milers, but the real humdingers that I can't even really conceive of are the 100-mile races. Oh. And she's put in a couple of those. She's done very well. Of course, not only is she placing first in female division, she's winning overall races, beating men, and then she's even breaking these kinds of course records. So her upcoming goals for the next year, she's planning on doing 4 of these 100-mile races. It's called the Grand Slam, some of which take place in California, others all the way in Vermont. And if she completes this, she'll be at the top of the top, where she already pretty much is, across the country. And she's very own from Orange County.
Now, here's another question about this. When you say she's breaking records and that type of thing, does she make money? Is there a purse that you win when you win one of these races?
That's an excellent question. And the reality is many athletes at this level make millions and millions of dollars in sports like basketball, baseball, what have you. But for ultra running, it's not much of a spectator sport. It's probably pretty hard to follow. And no, she's in it really for the love of the game. She has a couple of sponsors, so she gets a little bit here and there, mostly just some nutrition or some running shoes, something like that. Mm-hmm. But she's really in it just for the love of it. And it's all about, as the gentleman said earlier on this program, in the cathedral of nature.
Right.
Now, why doesn't she go for where she can make some money, which is the marathons?
Well, that's interesting, and she's really she's an endurance person. A marathon to her is still kind of a quick speed race. Additionally, there's the pounding of the pavement, and then she just loves that feeling of being outdoors, getting up in the morning, watching the sun rise, watching the owls sort of disappear and fade into the distance as the sun comes up. So it's a very sort of a spiritual journey, and then there's also the camaraderie that exists in trail running. Unlike very many other sports where people are really focused on time. With trail running, it's about time, but it's really also about survival.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion you'll be trying this if you haven't already.
I hope to.
Thank you. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, David.